There's a new religion in North American League of Legends. They don't have mass on Sundays, they don't visit the mosque or synagogue, and to join them, you just have to believe in the divine powers of one man known simply as LS. Since his appointment as Cloud9's head coach last year, he's pulled out some of the most crazy picks and drafts the LCS has seen in years, but they actually work. Welcome to the Church of LS. Let me show you around. Look, I knew I was going to talk about LS this year. I just didn't think it would be this quick. We'll definitely be discussing him more later on in the year though, so if you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe to theScore esports and turn notifications on. Just do it. It makes sense. It makes so much sense. Alright, first off, LS, aka Last Shadow, has a pretty wild backstory. He first appeared in esports as a StarCraft player. During this time, he battled homelessness, depression, the struggles of coming out and living alone in Korea, as well as a cheating scandal that almost cut his career short over a decade ago. We covered this era of his life in one of our shorts videos, so check that out if you want to know more about his career before League. But since 2014, LS has become one of the most famous analytical minds in League of Legends, particularly in Korea, where he's coached the likes of BBQ Olivers and was a content creator for T1. And for the past 2 years or so, he took a step back from coaching to focus on co-streaming pro games from around the world.
As they aimlessly push a 500 gold tier 1 turret in T1, elect to clap back. What the hell are they doing? Never mind, not T1, make it throw one. What the fudge is this? Do you see this? You see what's going on right now.
Now from the outside, LS seemed very comfortable in Korea and certainly didn't see the need to return to Western League and their, shit.
Don't tilt if you play with me. You, cut the Western shit.
Which is why it came as a bit of a surprise on December 1st last year that LS will be returning to NA to become the head coach of Cloud9.
Along came the offer from Cloud9, and I thought if there was ever going to possibly be a chance to return to pro play in some facet coaching, this probably would have just been it.
Look, LS returning to coaching and North America was huge news, whether or not you're a Cloud9 fan. He clearly has one of the most analytical minds in the game, and in any given stream, you'd often find him theory crafting why an overlooked item is broken, why a certain strategy is secretly OP, or why a particular champion is low-key busted.
I'm gonna show you all why we pick Annie. Ready?
He's a famous champion of color theory in drafting, the belief that champions belong to certain color groups based on their strengths and that certain colors work well together. It's heavily based on the deck building theory of Magic the Gathering, and its application to League of Legends by LS gives a real insight into his strategical mind.
Okay, so there's one color here. Now, the enemy team responds Gangplank. Gangplank is green, white, and blue for the most part. Now, white creatures, or white things, are not... Now, even though blue is often weak early on and green is often weak early on, it doesn't mean that the champion, just because it has those two colors, has to be that way.
To put it simply, he's built different. The question was though, would he bring his outside-the-box thinking to the LCS, or would he play it safe in his first real coaching position for almost 3 years? Well, we got our answer pretty quick.
Oh my god.
I'm curious to
That's
see
a lot
what it's gonna
Ivern
be here. Wait, this could be, remember, this could be Ivern jungle, or it could be Ivern top playing like a Janna as well.
Now we're gonna get Soraka.
Oh.
Oh my god, this is the quintessential LS champion. He's putting this thing in S tier and solo lanes every patch, you know, like this is the champ.
Fudge playing Ivan and then Soraka mid was some of the strangest picks we've seen in the LCS in quite a while, but they both helped C9 to an impressive 2-0 start to the season. And putting a quick hold on the LS story for just a second, I want to take a moment to acknowledge just how much has changed for Fudge over the past 6 months. He's gone from being a top laner on bruisers and duelists to being a mid laner on support champions like Soraka and Ivan.
Fudge is coming in.
Berserker's gonna be taken low, but he will get away. Look at the shielding on the man. God bless, that is a lot of extra HP.
Now obviously he's going to play a lot of normal mids too, but yeah. Fudge playing Soraka in the mid lane is not what I had down for 2022. Listen, it's cool that LS is bringing out some crazy picks this early on, but that's not all he's brought to the LCS so far. C9 fans have also been very impressed with Summit and Berserker, the two young Koreans who have been brought in as the team's top and bot laners respectively. These guys have looked really solid in their first few weeks in an entirely different country and league, a lot less shaky than TSM's Eastern imports. And while this may be down to the players themselves or Cloud9 as an org, you can't overlook LS's hand in all of this too. LS actually worked directly with Cloud9's owner and staff during the offseason while they were piecing this team together.
What I can say is that even while all of these decisions were going on, I had agreed to help Cloud9 regardless of if I would end up joining or not. I thought that the players that have been picked up, Summit, Berserker, are two of the best players that could have been picked up for imports.
Now, we don't know if LS handpicked the likes of Summit or Berserker, but this C9 roster, which looks very different to last year's, definitely has LS's prints all over it. LS also said in his announcement video that he was the one that had a conversation with Fudge about swapping to the mid lane.
The Fudge swap to mid lane was a conversation that I did have with Fudge, and I've spoken very highly of Fudge as a player fundamentally, and I just thought it doesn't matter if you're top or mid lane, you're still going to be one of the best Western players, if not the best Western player, in a very short period of time.
Now look, swapping roles isn't anything unheard of in League, but it's a whole new thing for a brand new coach to just stroll in and get one of their players to completely change their lane, and that wouldn't happen unless they trusted their coach. C9 and their players clearly do. Now obviously Fudge does have somewhat of a prior relationship with LS, they used to do a lot of co-streams together, but their relationship gives a clue about something that a lot of Western fans might have overlooked. LS's man management skills. We're all used to his big brain analytical takes. He's known for number crunching and optimizing. His unpredictable drafting style makes it even more difficult for opponents who face him. And he'll flex any champion you can think of. He'd flex your mum. In a recent Cloud9 behind the scenes video, you can literally see LS showing Fudge how to play Ivan mid before he took it on stage, a pick that he said he accidentally discovered when he locked in Ivan mid in solo queue by mistake. That is some faith right there. And then in the following game, you can see the team go from disbelief that he wants them to play Soraka in the mid lane to acceptance when they realize the mad lad might actually be onto something.
Oh! She just beats everyone, by the way.
Stop the cat, by the way.
Soraka actually beats everyone.
That's trolling.
She does. It's your next champ, by the way, after
I'm playing it on stage today.
Playing today, no?
I'm playing it on stage today in 4-5, but I'm not on a clip.
How many coaches walk into a team that they're already familiar with, that they're already fond of? They've got a big head start on a lot of other teams. Look, I'm not trying to write a fairy tale before it's even happened here. At the time of recording, we haven't even seen week 3 of the LCS yet. There's a lot that could happen between now and the end of the season. And despite all the hype, their loss to Team Liquid in week 2 clearly shows that they're not completely invincible. But that's kind of not the point here. The excitement around LS and C9 isn't entirely to do with whether they win or lose. It's about a team of unknown quantities, the opposite of a somewhat tried and tested roster like Team Liquid's, being led into battle every week by a mad genius who puts them on champions in roles that he discovered by mistake.
You have to respect that he's coming to the LCS with these weird and wacky comps that he's been talking about. He talks the talk, he walks the walk, he says what he thinks is strong, he plays it, and it actually works. And you gotta be like, hats off to him. Even if you disagree with the other, like, you don't like his streams or something like that, come on guys, you gotta give him some respect because he's coming in, shifting the meta. He's making these teams actually think, oh, maybe this is strong. Maybe we need to view the game in a different light. And that's what I'm all about, League of Legends progression. I don't want people just going and copying other teams and being like, this is what they do in Korea, they gotta do this because they do in Korea, it's strong. Think for yourselves, innovate.
That's why there's a holy aura surrounding Cloud9 right now. That's why people are flocking to the church of LS. And yes, if Cloud9 fans are very lucky and they say their prayers at night, they might just see a miracle this year.
It's a bit of an advanced insult. I
Talking
get
a
it.
lot of shit for someone whose room looks like Mordekaiser's old. Literally, the saddest place on earth is where you're streaming from right now. Just the fucking death realm. I mean, look at the backgrounds. It's just sad. It is despair and regret and just horrible, horrible emotions. The second you walk in, you just feel. If you walk into your room with a plant, it will die right away. It will just die.